Hi, I'm Dave, and I know wrestling. I'm also here to represent my client of Dave Knows Wrestling's honest promos, the beast in figurative speech, the next big overbooked thing, Brock Lesnar. Behold this amazing athletic specimen that the WWE is grateful took up wrestling in college instead of football. Because if he did, then maybe he would have gotten the grooming needed to make it with the Minnesota Vikings. Anyway, with his sports career options being limited, we scooped him up at the early age of only 23 years old. Then, less than 2 years later, he would go on and become the youngest WWE champion of all time. And also the best example of why you make young people pay their dues in the professional wrestling business. After his debut, we spoiled him with almost every company accolade you could think of in less time than a presidential term. Royal Rumble, King of the Ring, we even wanted him to win a King of the Ring qualifying match against Stone Cold Steve Austin on an episode of Raw. Then when he feels like he has nowhere left to go but down, the next big baby decides to take his ball and go home. And that really should have been no surprise to anyone. But now he's back, damn it! And upon his return, we've also given him back the guy who should have always been doing all of his talking for him. A light schedule, and on top of that, we decided to reward him refusing to job to The Undertaker at WrestleMania 20 by giving him a brand new accomplishment, one that no other wrestler has ever done before, and one that other wrestlers have actually refused to do when offered. And we did all this just because we love overbooking Brock Lesnar. Unless, of course, he's going against one of the other two major wrestlers who owe their whole careers to overbooking. Speaking of which, his match at WrestleMania 20 is one of the worst matches in wrestling history, but it's a match that we somehow managed to repeatedly resell to you 12 years later. How do we get away with this? Oh, and also, we choose to ignore the results of other outside drug tests in our wellness policy, a policy that we've been enforcing to ignore our guilt over what happened to Chris Benoit. At any rate, we want you to order the WWE Network and buy as many tickets as you can for your chance to see Brock Lesnar. That way we can justify why we pay a guy who barely shows up millions of dollars more than our other regular working talents. Talents like Dean Ambrose, whose honesty about Brock Lesnar is one of the major reasons why we stopped airing the Stone Cold podcast on the network. Even though we have no real way of knowing if the revenue for ticket sales and network buys are in any way due to him specifically as an attraction, or if people would have just bought it anyway, we would feel a whole lot better if you would just help us rationalize the tradition and cash we have thrown out the window for the big brat, Brock Lesnar. Oh, and buy a Suplex City t-shirt. You'll boo John Cena for years for only having 5 moves, but you'll proudly wear clothes representing the fact that Brock Lesnar mostly just does one.